me now. That's so exciting. Okay, well, this is live stream, so anything can happen. But I want to welcome all of you so much. Thank you. Happy New Year to all of you. Yay, you hear me. This is great. Okay. Well, what I was saying was this is my very first live stream, and I'm super excited, but I'm also super scared. But I have this quote that I always remember that Eleanor Roosevelt said, and I'm not going to say it exactly right, but something to the effect of like, do something every day that scares you. So this is it for me today. After this, I'm going to be good. So anyway, so welcome. We really want this to be interactive, so please, and I can see you guys are doing it, so I'm loving it. But please, chat, ask questions. I'm going to do some fun exercises with you guys, so please participate because it'll make it a lot more fun. So if you want to, just say, shout out, say hello, tell us where you're watching from so we can kind of get a sense of where everybody is right now. So please do that. And then, if you haven't also subscribed to our channel, there's so many fun series and different things that we're doing, so we would love it if you guys could hit subscribe as well. Okay, so the thing that I want you to get, if you don't have right next to you, is like a scribbler, pad of paper, something that you can write on, and then of course something that you can write with. So grab that now if you don't already have it. And great, and our people, tell me where you're from, because I can't see those comments. I want to know where you guys are coming from.
So their comments are going to.
Oh, Chapel Hill, Houston, Texas. Greensboro, love it. Great, great, great. Okay, cool. All right. So as you guys are getting something to write on, and I start kind of talking about a few of these concepts, you guys are so sweet. I love it. What I want you guys to start doing is doodling on a piece of paper. So there's a lot of studies that came out, not when I was in school, unfortunately, but later, that doodling is actually really good. It gets your juices flowing. It also actually helps you retain information. It helps you hear better. Of course, when I was in school, we got in trouble for doing anything like that. But now they're sort of understanding that doodling, stuff like that, can be helpful. So get your creative juices going. Get out your pad of paper, your pen, just doodle, sketch, do something as we talk, okay? So, creative joy, life skills, creativity, that's something that I've kind of been teaching for a lot of years. And I have read a ridiculous amount of self-help books over the years, and some are phenomenal, and some are, maybe there's like one nugget of information, and then, it's a 500-page book. So you kind of have to like slog through all of this, but I'm of the mindset that like if you get one nugget of information that can change your perspective, change the way that you think, give you something different to focus on, that it's worth it. So I am going to be suggesting books for you to read. I'm not going to tell you to read the ones that are like a slug, like it's hard to get through. I'll just give you those concepts, and then you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Anyway, so, all right, creative joy. That's sort of this series that we're putting on our YouTube channel, but January is different. I want us to do some different things in January so that we can set ourselves up for success, have more joy in our life, live our lives with a little bit more purpose. So that's kind of what today is about for us. Okay, so why January? People always talk about that, like why in January do we start like New Year's resolutions or all of that stuff? And part of it, at least I think for me, was like, it's a brand new year. I can forget about the year before and I can start fresh, right? It feels like a fresh beginning. It can be like a fresh new you. Oh, my brother's here from Kelowna, BC and family. Yay. Hi, Kurt. So I always liked New Year's resolutions in the beginning of a year, but I also want to put out the perspective that like each day is a brand new day and you can start fresh. And also each moment is a brand new moment. So in the moment, if we're not behaving the way we like, or our perceptions are maybe not what we want them to be, you can stop in that moment, and the next moment is a new moment. So yes, it's great to start in January, but we're all human, so we make these New Year's resolutions and then we screw up, But instead of like trashing all that work that we did, just knowing that we're human, we screw up, and that tomorrow's a new day, or the next minute is a new minute. So we don't have to throw out all of that really good work. We can continue on our path and just know that we're going to screw up. We make mistakes, but each moment is a new moment. Anyway, yeah, see, people are like, I know I screw up a lot. Yes, we all do, right? That's the way it goes. So, but each moment, like, you can stop, you can take a breath, and you can make a new decision, a new choice at any time, at any moment. But it is January, it is 2023, so we're gonna start this together, and I'm just gonna do kind of a silly, fun thing to get us, so it's like the would you rather questions, just to, get our creative juices flowing, see where your mind is at, okay? So, would you rather, and then answer in the chat, would you rather give up soda for 6 months or give up French fries? So which would you rather, give up soda or French fries? For me, French fries. I don't really need French fries, and I don't really need soda either, but I do drink a little soda. Megan would like to give up soda. Okay, that's good. What else? Soda, French fries. Or maybe you would just give up both. I don't know. Here's another one. Would you give up soda? Would you rather make New Year's resolutions for yourself or make New Year's resolutions for other people? Wouldn't that be fun? So would you rather make New Year's resolutions for yourself or for other people? I wish we could do both. That could be fun. French fries, both. That's pretty good. Soda, okay, that's good. Yes, Josh, you can give up both. I think you already have, so you're good to go. But, okay, so next one. Make resolutions for yourself or for other people? What would you do? So think about that. I don't know. I think I would like to make resolutions for myself because we can't really control anybody else except ourselves and our own thoughts, but it would be kind of fun to do that. A lot of people are saying, Josh is saying others, but a lot of people are saying myself. That's interesting. Always other people. Love that. Okay. So would you like, just think of it, to double your salary? So let's say you could double your salary for the year, or you could take a whole month of vacation. So you get a lot. So the idea is like a lot more money or a lot more time to vacation. Which one would you choose? That's a hard one. I don't know. I might take the money. I'm not sure, but that would be interesting. So, would you like to double your salary? Especially if it's for a year, you can vacation the year after that with the money that you made this year. That's not a bad idea. But anyways, can you triple it? Sure, if you work really hard. Anyways, but it's interesting to think, like, do we want to spend more time making money? Do we want to spend more time doing vacation things, So I take the money to vacation. I like that. Interesting. Okay, I like it. Okay, another question. Would you rather spend more of your time, like, getting alone time? Or would you like more of your time to be spent socializing with friends, with others? So would you rather more alone time? Do you feel like you need that more in your life? Or do you feel like you need more kind of social time? I think for me, alone time is a really good one because I don't get very much alone time anymore, and that's what I need to restore. But other people need different things. So I'm a hermit forever, forever alone. But we all recharge in different ways. I recharge, I love being with people, but I need alone time to recharge, and I have to schedule it into my day and into my life, or I'm not the best person sometimes. So yeah. Josh, funny. Anyway, friends and family. Oh, I like that. Alone with the trees. That's really nice. Okay, cool. I just want to get us, like, we do have choices. We do have the ability to control some of our lives and what we want to spend our time on. So now I'm going to talk about, like, so why do we need to live our lives on purpose? And also, like, how do we do it, right? So I just turned 50 in 2022, and it was a much bigger deal than I thought. Because yeah, it's just a number, but it's a big number. And but it was also like this realization that half of my life is over. Probably more than half, possibly. But that's in the past. And so for me, the more control I can have over the remaining part of my life, the better, because I feel like sometimes we do whatever we can to get through the day because life is stressful. There's a lot going on, and we get to the end of the day and it feels like we were not in control of anything. And then the days can go into weeks and months, and then it's 2023. So for me, living my life on purpose as much as I can became a much more important thing when I turned 50, though it's always kind of been important. But anyway, so that's partly why is giving us the ability to take back some of that control in our life, I think is really important. And so that's partly what today is about. So how do we do that? I think, and why, but I think I kind of talked about it, but I think we can really carve out these moments in our lives that are important to us. Even moments of joy, like these little daily moments of joy, we can carve into our day so that we don't get to the end of the day and we're like, that was I can't swear, but that was like a mess of a day. Like, even if it's a mess of a day, we should be able to carve out these moments where we have joy or these wonderful interactions. And sometimes we have them and we don't even notice them. They kind of go by us. So just taking a little time to be thoughtful and purposeful, I think, is really important. So that's kind of why we're doing this today. And I'm also like, the idea of not only can we control some of the experiences that we have in life, not everything, but we also have control of our perceptions, our thoughts, our emotions to those things that happen to us. So we have a lot more control than we think or that we even allow ourselves a lot of times. So I think the more we're thoughtful about that, I think the better. Yeah, you just swear for me there. I love it. So we want to just explore a little bit about like what's important to you, which might be different for all of us. And then how do you get more of that in your life? But the first thing I want to just specifically talk about is joy, because hopefully all of us can agree that joy is really important in our lives. People use different words for it, but I like the word joy. But that's easier said than done. How do we create more joy in our lives, right? When we are to-do lists, work, family, stress, health issues, like there's a lot of that. But we need to be able to figure out how to carve in little moments of joy. So one of the ways is laughter. And I love to laugh, but I don't laugh near as much as I should. But laughter is a really wonderful way to experience joy because it's like a full body experience, especially when you're laughing hard. So what I want you to do now, paper and pen, is I want you to start a list. And please share some ideas because then we can learn off of each other. But what makes you laugh? I want you to make a list of like, what makes you giggle? What makes you laugh out loud? What makes you laugh out loud so hard that you almost have to pee your pants? Like that kind of physical laughter. What are some of those things? And I want you to make a list, and I want to keep adding to it. But share with some of those things. Like I'll share with Josh and I love Noises Off, the play, also the film. And there's a part in that film where we literally have to pause it because we are, and you know this, Josh, we are laughing so hard we have to pee. Like it's so funny. So there are films, there are TV shows, there are friends that just make us laugh. They make us happy when we're with them. Playing games, I was a huge game player as a kid, and that brought me a lot of joy. So what things bring you laughter, smile, giggles, stuff like that, and share some of the fun ones. Have that comment. Yeah, we're funny people. People are funny. Like interacting with people make us smile and laugh. The Office. Yes, that's a good one. More dancing, more joy. Yes, I love that. That's a really good one. Though I don't know if that makes you laugh, but maybe that makes you laugh too. Richard Pryor, yes. Oh my gosh, as a kid, I loved watching Richard Pryor movies. So continue this list of things that make you laugh and giggle and smile. And what I would like you to do is, if you want, again, these are like exercises if you so choose, you want to do them, but like post the list near you somewhere. And when you start thinking about your day or your week, so at the beginning of the week, if you schedule your week, which we'll talk about because it's nice to schedule some things at least, is to schedule in a few of those, if you can, throughout your month and throughout your week. So you know for sure, even if you're having a hard week, that you're gonna watch Noises Off, or you're gonna watch The Office, and you're gonna be able to laugh. And that is such a great stress reliever. So I really want you to start like being specific. Like there are things that make you laugh, and we used to laugh a lot when we were kids, a lot more than we do now. So we have to be more we have to do it more on purpose than when we were kids. So start adding some of those things into your life so that you get to laugh more. And that's going to bring you more joy in your life. So there you go. And if playing games or being with people, then schedule, socializing time with the people that make you laugh, or schedule like a games party. Anything like that is really good. Another thing that's like play oriented. So playing, obviously something we did when we were kids and it was so much fun, and now we rarely do it in our daily lives. And play is so restorative and brings so much joy to our lives. And I think scientists and people are figuring this out. That's why there's adult coloring books and adult word searches, and like they're figuring it out now. And I won't go into it too much because I talk about it specifically in one of the Creative Joy series. It's called Artist Dates, but that's a really good way to bring some joy into your life, whether it's quiet joy or a lot more fun. So check out the Artist Dates and schedule those in, because those can bring you a lot more joy as well. Okay, so another exercise, flip to a brand new sheet of paper. I have my little kitty book here, and I want you to put on the top, sort of as a title, list of 100 dreams exercise. Okay. So, and as you're doing that, I'll kind of read sort of what this one's about. And I got to do it with my glasses because, I turned 50. So, Okay. So for this one, like, this is what we want to start thinking about is like, what do you want to do more of your time with? Like, what, when you have time, what do you want to be doing? We really want to be specific. I want you to brainstorm anything you might want to do or have in your life. And it can be big, but it also can be like tiny. Think like tiny bursts of joy here and there. So this is a big, that's why they say 100 dreams, because it can be a lot of big ones, but it can be a lot of small ones as well. And one of the other things they talk about when you create this 100 dreams exercise is make sure you're adding things that you could do that's within 2-hour radius of your house. So you could do it on a weekend, or you can, so like my first one is like spend 3 to 6 months in France. Not doable right now because I'm a mom and a wife and whatever, but maybe someday. So it's on my list. But then I have lots of other little ones. Like pick an author and read all of their books. Like that's something that's doable over a period of time. So does anybody want to share like maybe one of your 100 dreams exercise? What might that be? Because I think we get inspiration from each other. Yes, go to the movies. Yeah, go to the movies once a month at least, I put vacation with, my 2 best friends from where I grew up in Tabor, join a club. I haven't done that one yet. I don't even know what club I would join, but I'm gonna have to join a club. So anyways, it can be random things. But start a book club. Maybe some of us can start a book club. There you go. Live in Italy and write. Again, not doable right now, but it's out there. And some of these other ones are. Have a clean studio space. I love it. Go to London. Yes. Visit more museums. That's a really good one. Hike all the closest North Carolina waterfalls. That's a great one. Make my own travel show. Good one. We'll talk, Erin. We're going to talk about that. So what I want you to do with this is continue you're not going to come up with 100 all in one sitting, but you can, it gets your brain thinking, thinking about what you want to spend your time on, because as I'm 50, I'm realizing I don't have a lot of time. So I want to make the most of it. So start that 100 dreams exercise and keep going back to it. And what are the things that you can schedule in now from your 100 dreams exercise? What's something that maybe you can do in the month of January? So that again, it gets us thinking, because sometimes I feel like we go through like months of like not even thinking about like what we want to do or what brings us joy or whatever. We're just like going to work, doing our things, and we forget to like stop and like, okay, we only have one life, or maybe more, it depends on whatever, but right now we think we only have one. So like, what brings me joy? What do I want to be doing? And I think we have to be thoughtful about it, or we're not going to do it. So anyway, so that's just a fun way to do it, this 100 dreams exercise. Okay, we're going to shift a little bit. And I'm going to talk about, now this is a book that's hard to get through. I'm not really suggesting necessarily you want to read this unless you're a business person and you want to super, I don't know. But it's interesting, high performance habits. But actually what I love about it is the very first part, when he talks about when he was younger, almost dying and having sort of these realizations. And he came up with, this is the part that I love, is he came up with the idea of like 3 questions he would ask himself at the end of each day. And if those things didn't, so his questions were, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And so when he would go to sleep at night, he would think about those things. And if he didn't do those things, then he would make changes the next day, because before that, he didn't really think about what was important to him in his life and how he wanted to live his life. So that's how he kind of sort of started, focusing on what he wanted his life to be about. So what I want you guys to do before we get there is I want you to try and write down 7 words that come to mind when you think of what really matters to you. So go to another sheet of paper, write down 7 words that come to mind when you think about what really matters to you. And if you'd like to share some of them, great. You don't have to if you don't want to, obviously. But 7 words, and just kind of put them over the page. And as you're doing that, yeah, if you wanna share, great. If not, for me, some of the words that come to mind is inspiring or inspiration, inspiring others and being inspired by others, kindness, okay, we're reading connection. That's a really good word. Connection, being connected to people. I think joy is a big one for me too. Spreading it, having it, all of that stuff. Marriage, that's a really good word. Yes, I thought of that first, Josh. That I just didn't say it out loud because I was waiting for June to say it. Passion, ooh, that's a good one. Patience, wow, these are all really good. We could come up with more than 7 words. Unbreakable, interesting. Wow, I love these words. Wow. So as you kind of think about this, you're writing down the 7 words that mean something to you. From there, you can kind of extrapolate maybe 3 questions if you want to do this exercise, but I think it's interesting. Maybe 3 questions around some of those words. And I like his questions. They're super easy. Did I live? And you have to know what that means. Did I live with passion, with patience today? Like you would have to know what that meant for you. Did I love? That could mean, did I really connect with people today? Did I think of them? And then did I matter? Like for him, service is a big part. Service is a big word of his. So you kind of sift through and think about those 7 words. Dance, family, nature, hiking, creativity. Those are all great. Those are really good. These are all relationships. That's really good. Peace. So, and you probably won't be able to do this now because some of these things I'm just, with live, I can't just sit and wait for you to do a bunch of stuff. But I want to give you ideas of like what you can do later on. So, looking over these 7 words and then transforming these 7 words into maybe 3 questions or however many questions you want that are simple that you can think about at the end of the day or maybe at the beginning of the day. How am I going to love today? How am I going to live today? It just gives us a very focused perspective and living our life with more purpose than just going to work, coming back, feeding ourselves, like thinking about things that really matter. And when we live our lives the way it really matters, that brings us joy too. So, okay. So now, and again, some people love to do this exercise and some people don't. I think, again, one of the reasons I like this next exercise is, again, it just brings focus to what we want to work on in our lives and enjoy in our lives. So, I'm sure you've heard of this, but some people choose one word that they kind of want their year to be about. Actually, Meghan Markle mentioned this in their little whatever documentary. So I was like, oh, she does the word. Anyway, so but you basically think about what do you want to focus on this year in particular. And you can also go through your 7 words and what's one of the words that really matter to you that you want this year to be about. That doesn't mean you ignore the other ones, but it just gives a little bit more focus for your words. And again, if you want to share that's great, or you may not know right away. Mine is health. I've kind of ignored that because I've enjoyed many other things and don't really enjoy going to doctors and figuring out my health stuff. But this year I want my word to be health and really figure out how I can live in a healthy way for the next 40, 50 years. So that's my word, and I've been thinking about it a lot. But sometimes my word has been brave, adventure. Yeah, you may have to think about it. But that's a good one. And again, it's not like everything that you focus on all year, but it does give you purpose and focus for the year. And so I think that's important. So again, it can come out of your 7 words, or maybe you look at your 7 words and a word comes out of that kind of uses many of the thoughts or themes that you're thinking about right now. So being, ooh, that's a really good one. Relationships, connection. I love these. Wow, this is really good. Okay, so keep thinking about that. As we think about that, we're going to do like a little exercise. It's called heart math since I'm into health, but I want to do these little tiny breaks too because we have to also schedule in certain types of breaks in our day to get rid of stress, to refocus and go, okay, yeah, wait, what do I want my life to be about? Because that's not what it was about this morning. It's kind of crazy. So there's like these different fun exercises that lots of different people use. This one is called heart math. So heart math is very specific. So if you guys want to do it with me, I'm not going to be able to see if you are, but I hope you are. But let's try and do it together. So basically you just put your hands on your heart. Okay. And just feel sort of, if you're sitting, which probably most of you are, the chair underneath you, your feet on the ground, or, what we're doing is we're putting ourselves back in our bodies. So, the shirt on your back, and you're just going to kind of feel your body connecting to, the thing is like we always feel these things, but we kind of shut off these sensory things so we can focus on other things. I want to put our focus back on our bodies just for a little minute. So what I want you to do is, now that we're back in our bodies, our hands are on our heart, all I want you to focus on is breathing. But I want you to focus on when you're breathing in, the breath is going towards the heart. And when you're breathing out, it's coming out of the heart. So obviously, literally, it's not quite that, but I want to try and bring our focus here. I'm just going to do a few of those. So here we go. And nice, slow, deep breaths. Again, just bringing our focus to our heart. A lot of people that do yoga also do like different chakras, the heart center. I'm just doing the actual heart. we'll just keep doing that for a few minutes while I talk about this one a little bit. And I think Lisa, my doctor, yes, Lisa, see, I listened to you. And did you hear my word is health? So my doctor is on right now. Good thing I picked health. There's other things that I do with my actors called a relaxation exercise. But a lot of these different things, what the main purpose is like to put ourselves back in our body. We can't really focus on the here and now if we're not in our bodies. And to go back to the breath. Yes, we're always breathing, but we're not generally aware of it. So to slow us down, to relax us, to put us in our body, so then therefore we can make a different choice in the next moment. We can refocus what we're thinking about. We can experience, and I'm going to get to this next part, these little moments of joy that kind of go by us and we're not even aware of it till it's too late. So this is a great little break to do in the middle of like you're stressed, things are going badly, you had a really bad fight and you need to get a different perspective. So these are just like tiny little exercises. I'm going to do a lot of these throughout the next 4 weeks, but this is just one and it's called Heart Math. There's a whole lot more to this than that, but you can look up Heart Math exercises and there's that. So again, I just want to put us back into our bodies a little bit. And I get nervous when I do these things sometimes. And so my energy gets up here, who knows where my body is. So I always have to like put myself back in my body. Okay, so next concept, next book. And some people have really heard about this. It's called How Full Is Your Bucket? They have a kids version of this book, which I think is brilliant, actually much better than this book. The concept is brilliant. This is one of those books that I think they could add 1 chapter and be done, but you can't sell a chapter. But the idea is brilliant. And so in case you haven't heard of this idea, what it is that the idea is we all have these buckets, these invisible buckets in our souls. And we go through our days. And if our buckets are filled, we feel confident, we feel joy, we feel happy. If our buckets are empty or half full, we don't experience joy. We're in a bad mood. We're stressed, all of these things. And the idea is being aware of that and what things can you do to fill your bucket and what things can you do to fill other people's buckets. Because the idea also is if you fill somebody else's bucket, you also fill yours at the same time. If you dip from someone else's bucket, meaning you are not nice to them, you say something mean, they want to connect with you and you don't, you're dipping from their bucket. But not only are you dipping from their bucket, you're dipping from your own bucket. So, which is kind of wonderful and has to do with connection, right? Because in the bucket they say there's no neutral connections. You're either filling someone's bucket or you're dipping from their bucket. So that even means like someone's passing you by and you smile at them or ignore them. That's not neutral. That doesn't mean they're aware of it fully right away, but you're dipping. So the idea is to be more conscious of your own bucket, and maybe if you're having a hard day or you're kind of being snippy or not all that nice, maybe your bucket is pretty low and you got to do some things to fill that bucket. So that's where self-love, self-preservation comes in, but also taking care of other people, filling their bucket will also fill your bucket. So it's just an awareness. What if your bucket has a hole in it? Then you need to repair that bucket, perhaps therapy or another way, but you got to fix the bucket because I don't think we can live our full, joyful lives without a full bucket. And that means we can't also do that without other people and filling their buckets at the same time. So anyways, it's an easy read. Again, there's a lot of stuff that you don't need to read, but the idea is really good. And the kids version of this book, if you have kids, is really cool that I really like. So there you go. The next thing I kind of want to just talk about is like, and we kind of talked about with Heart Math, but being in the moment. So I read several of these articles about joy and people that are happier than other people and how does that happen. And one of the things they talk about is when people experience happiness or joy, there's kind of 2 different people. There's the ones that like know it's happening in the moment and they can feel it and they stop and pause and like, oh, this is a happy moment, this is a joyful moment. And then there are other people that don't really take it in, that don't really notice, and kind of go about their day. So the idea is, if you want to experience more joy, there actually are joyful things that are happening every day, sometimes tiny, but that you can experience it more if you're in the moment, if you're in the presence, and you're like, if you start to notice like, oh, that was actually a really sweet thing that happened, or that was kind of fun, is to stop and actually feel that feeling. Like, don't move on to the next thing for a few moments, but like feel that feeling and experience that joy and then move on. Or you can also like, oh, I want more of that in my life. But the idea is like to stop, to really experience it before you move on. And they've just found that some people are really good at that and other people are not. So start, just what I say is just like, never beat yourself up if you're not the person that blah, 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 whatever. But awareness, like maybe just start being more aware and in the moment. And then these things will start to happen. So, okay, there's this next exercise that I was like, I'm too scared. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to be doing it alone because I can't see you guys. So I'm going to ask you guys to do this with me, but I'm going to do it because whatever, Eleanor Roosevelt, I'm going to do it for you. But this is another break that I think is really helpful. So some of you know me, some of you don't, but there's a lot of stress in our lives. There's a lot of mental health issues that are challenging often. And so I took a class from a woman that was helping parents with mental health challenges and parenting and all of that. And this was one of the things that she taught me that kind of helps reset where you're at. So if you're having a crappy day, you need to reset, whatever. This is a really quick, fun thing to do, not on your own in front of lots of people, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to move my chair. I can't even see myself, so hopefully you can see me. Okay. So, yeah, you can sort of see me. Okay, so the first thing is, it's called bounce. I don't know what it's really called, but this is what I call it. Bounce, pause, dance. So the first thing, so everybody stand up. Do it with me, please. Please. Okay, everybody stand up. All right, and what I want you to do, it's just for a minute. So we'll set a timer for a minute. And all you want to do is just to start to bounce. So I'm just going to start with my feet and my legs and my shins. And then I'm going to like start moving my hand. It's kind of weird, but the whole idea is you're going to slowly start moving. I'm going to use my shoulders. You're going to start like having your whole body start bouncing, and bounce however you want. This is just how I bounce. I don't know. But so I'm just getting my body bouncing and moving. I broke my foot a while ago, so I can't literally jump. I suppose you could jump, but I think it's more of a bounce. So we don't want to get your like heart rate up, but it's just like a bounce. And we're bouncing, and you do this for a minute or two. This actually feels really good. Okay, so we're all bouncing. So we're going to do this for a few more minutes. Not minutes, no, sorry, a few more moments. Haha, scared you there. Okay, a few more moments. Okay, good. And then we're going to stop. We're going to plant our feet. We're going to put our hands on our heart. And we're going to pause. And we're going to breathe. And we're going to just feel our heart rate. And we're going to do this for about a minute. You can breathe out loud or not, but try and take some deep breaths from down here. See if you can feel your heart beat. Good. So we bounced, we paused. We're going to get to the scary part for me in a moment, and that'll be the dancing. So the idea is you bounce for a minute, you pause for a minute, and then you pick your favorite song and you dance. So usually a song is like, what, 3 or 4 minutes? And that's all the break that you need to kind of help reset your body. Now, 2 things. One, I'm not going to dance for 3 minutes for you. I'm not a dancer, so it's not that fabulous to watch. We're just going to do it for 20 seconds. And again, I can't pick my favorite song because this is YouTube. So this is just a royalty-free, ridiculous song. But we're gonna dance together to this song. Please, for the love of God, dance with me, because okay, so we've paused for like over a minute, so let's play the music. Oh God, okay. Again, it's like, be silly, please be silly. Oh, we're pausing. Oh, you know what, I think when people are commenting, maybe? Okay, whatever, I'm dancing to the beat in my head. Where's the music? Move your body. There, that's all I'm gonna do. This is why I don't dance on social media. But anyways, we did it. But the idea is, I love, it really did help when I took that class. So it's called Bounce, Pause, Dance. And the idea is the bouncing kind of, oh yeah, okay. I'm watching a playback of me dancing. Oh, okay. Anyways, but the idea is like the bouncing kind of gets your body in a different place. The pausing really puts yourself in the body, and the dancing is to get you in a different space, a different mood. So anyways, thank you. Anyways, but it's just like if you're at your computer and you're working, you feel really stressed, like it takes 5 minutes and can totally reset how you're feeling, how you're perceiving things. Anyway, so try it if you like it. There you go. So there you are. Okay, a few more things. So let's get to like resolutions, goals, intentions, habits. So before we do that, we're gonna kind of bring up one of the things that I like to get every year. This woman is so cool. It's called a passion planner. She was actually the first one to sort of create really interesting planners, and now everybody does, because there you go. But there's an exercise at the beginning of this, and we're gonna pull it up so you guys can see it. And I'm gonna kind of talk through it a little bit, because sometimes it's like, well, where do I start when I'm trying to figure out like resolutions and goals and all of these things? Like sometimes it's overwhelming. So this kind of helps narrow it a little bit. So as it's coming up, is it coming up? Can you guys see the paper or the thing? Can you see it? Yes? Okay, good. Great. Great. All right, so what you see on there is like your passion roadmap, right? The one thing I want you to do is, you see the thing that says wish list, and then lifetime, 3 years, 1 year, 3 months. That's the thing I want you guys to do right now. So see if you can copy that. So just basically a blank piece of paper, put wish list in the middle, and then put those 4 things around it. Lifetime, 3 years, 1 year, 3 months. And you guys are still hearing me, yes? Okay, great. And then what we're gonna do when you guys are ready, and a few of you shoot me a yes that you're ready, or just shoot me a ready. This has to be timed. The idea is, and I'm a lover of timers, frankly, for everything. But this has to be timed so we don't take too much time on it. We kind of want our first spontaneous answers to come out, which will sometimes surprise us. So when I hear that you guys are kind of ready, so some people are ready. Okay. So what we're gonna do, generally they give you like 5 minutes to do this. I think probably for a live 5 minutes is too long for me to do this with you guys. So you can redo it if you want, because the idea is set the timer for 5 minutes and then go. And just basically write, it talks about make a wish list for yourself. Oh, good God, I'm old. Okay, so, so you set a timer. You imagine whatever you write on this piece of paper will come true within the designated time frame, okay? It's just a wish list describing your ideal life, right? So if I could be anything, do anything, have anything, what would that be? So it's just kind of a big thing. And write every single thing that comes to mind, be as specific as possible. And lastly, don't feel the need to be realistic or justify those dreams, just write them, okay? And you can share stuff or not, but we're gonna set a timer for 2 minutes and see what you can come up with in 2 minutes. Know again that you can redo this and do 5 minutes. Okay, let's set a timer. 2 minutes. I'll just set a timer. Go. And then as you guys are writing, I might share a few, but I'm going to set my timer. Nope. There we go. Okay. All right. Again, don't self-edit. That's partly, I think, for the timer too. Like self-editing, well, that's a stupid dream or that'll never come true. Like, don't edit those things. You can edit them later if you want to, but right now, dream big. What is your ideal life? You know, and what could happen this year, 3 years, those kind of things. And enjoy coming up with ideas. Why not? And it can be anything from like, oh, I want a new car to, you know, I want a completely new job and what that job is. Or if you want to travel more, like where do you want to be specific? Where do you want to go? So 1 more minute, not to put pressure on you, just dream for another minute. Okay, a few more seconds. Great. Okay, so that's just one way to kind of brainstorm. Again, it just gets us more thoughtful. And the reason I like it being specific is that just, you know, sometimes when we say something really vague, then it never happens because we're not specific enough. You have to, like, if you want a new car, you know, what does that mean? How much do you have to save? What kind of car do you want? Do you want a used car that's new to you? But or if you want just a new job, being more specific so that you can start to work toward those goals. So it's great to start thinking big and then going smaller and being specific. So what they talk about on here is doing this for 5 minutes, and then what I want you to do is circle something in there. So we're going to prioritize. My eyes. We're going to prioritize. And what you want to do is I want you to circle one goal that you think might have the most impact on your life. So circle one goal that you think might have a new car in one day. All right, so it's got to be maybe a little more realistic than that, but that would be nice. But circle one goal that you think might have the most impact on your life right now. And again, you can redo any of these exercises. We're just playing with making some decisions now. That's all. Let's see, did I circle mine yet? No, I haven't. I have all these things and I haven't circled one. Okay. Interesting. Okay. 2 more things. Stick with me. And also, if you have not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. We really need more subscribers to help build all of this. Okay. So I'm sure all of you have heard, because it's become like really popular right now, the whole like grateful thing, like having a grateful journal or thinking before you go to bed 3 things you're grateful for, or when you wake up in the morning, thinking 3 things you're grateful for. I use it a lot in my classes. So what I want you to do is start fresh paper, either make a list of things that you're grateful for, or make a list of things that make you smile. And I want you to keep adding to it. And you're going to post it somewhere where you'll see it every day. Because when you're having a hard day, you feel very negative about yourself or about your life, I want you to go back to this list because, I don't know, life is hard. Social media is hard, and everybody seems to have a better life, have a better life than us, right? Because we don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes. So I think we spend a lot more time in jealousy or wanting what we don't have, can't have, than being grateful for what we do have. So that doesn't mean we can't figure out like what more do we want in our lives and how can we get it, but we can also stop and go, there's a lot of, hopefully, a lot of really good things in our lives that we're grateful for, like even running water. Like if you travel a lot, you get to see like not everybody gets flushing toilets and running water, things that we're sort of take for granted, or they sleep on the floor and they don't have a bed, or don't get enough food. So there's like a lot that we can be grateful for. And I just think we need to remind ourselves and each other. So a list of things you are grateful for that you have in your life already, or also what in your life do you have that makes you smile? And we just need to remind ourselves, that's all. Because we're being reminded over here by social media, well, you don't have this, I have this, but you don't have this, and look at my happy family and all these things, and look at all the jobs I'm booking. Like, we get a lot of that, and hopefully we can be happy for some of that, but we also have to go like, what in my life am I grateful for that makes me smile, that is happening in my life that I'm forgetting about right now because I'm wishing, I was them. So it's just, again, bring presence to your life and think about those things. And then take a moment and actually experience that joy of having those things in your life. So, okay, so I'm going to wrap up a little bit. This has been so much fun, so much less scary than I thought because you guys are amazing. But the thing that I guess I want to get across is to bring more awareness to your body and awareness to your life. Because it goes by so fast. I know sometimes hours and days go by really slow, but like our lives go so fast. And we can have more control over our lives, our destiny, whatever you want to call it, than we think. And it starts with awareness. And then making specific goals or habits or intentions, whatever you want to call it, and then starting to figure out how to follow through on that. And so next week, I'm going to be in Disney World with my son, but I am reporting next week. I'm really going to get into like, how do you follow through with some of these goals and intentions? I'm also going to be hitting on like, how do you own your mornings and make your mornings more enjoyable, productive, because sometimes mornings can be chaos. So we're going to be hitting on some of those things. But the thing that I want to get across right now is just bring awareness to what brings you joy, awareness to your body so you can experience that joy, and then start to be more thoughtful and put things into your life. So you have a lot more joy in your life, and subscribe. I don't think, I've been told I've got to say subscribe a lot. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys so much for showing up and sharing all of your, I will have fun at Disney. Thank you. But I just, everybody's been sharing a lot of ideas and being complimentary of each other. I just love that. It's community, and we need community to fill each other's buckets. So bring awareness to your life this week and see if you can fill up some people's buckets this week. And when you're experiencing joy, see if you can feel that. So that's all I got to say. So anyways, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for coming. And hopefully you'll check out some of the next videos. And this has been fun, so I think I'll do a few more live things like this as well. So thank you.